see.
Good evening, ghosts and ghouls, and you're tuning into a horrible conversation. I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder.
And we're talking. So, we're going to talk about some things we've done, some things going on in the horror community universe. So we just went to the Myers house on Halloween.
Yep, we went to Hillsborough, North Carolina.
It was pretty fun. We got to meet Tony Moran.
Yes, Tony Moran from the original Halloween was there. He's the one that played the unmasked Michael Myers. Pretty much the last scene in the film.
The face of the sheep.
When Laurie and Michael pretty much come to blows, and he goes to choke her, and she kind of
smushes him in the face.
Yeah, and his mask comes off. That's Tony Moran, so that was pretty awesome.
A really nice guy. I'd like to later rest that, about him talking shit and being, an asshole. He's not even the slightest bit an asshole.
No, he's very appreciative of his fans. He's very loving of his fans. And we actually brought that up to him, and he kind of clarified that he is very aware of some people on the internet that paint him as a bad person. And, he's admitted that, there was a time where he might not have appreciated what he did back in 1978 with Halloween.
But he's not the only one.
But he's not the only one. We've mentioned this in a previous video before, that there's tons of actresses and actors that did not know that they were going to be making something that was going to be
iconic film.
Iconic, yeah.
It's just one of those things that just you don't realize that it's going to be a part of cinema history. You know what I mean? And,
and, shout out to the guy that runs the Myers house. This was an excellent guest.
He was really nice, too.
Yeah, he was really nice, too. He really keeps things moving there. Got a good little setup there. He always has somebody dressed up like Michael Myers and walking around being creepy. So, tons of photo ops there. And, I just want to give a shout out. Tony Moran gave us this little kind of 8x10 little picture. And he's going to have a brand new YouTube channel called The Killer Channel. So you get a chance to check that out. Check it out. I haven't gotten the opportunity, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. Tony is a cool guy. He's not boring. He probably has tons of stories to tell. So...
Yeah.
You get a chance to check out that YouTube channel.
We'll probably check it out and bring it up on the future.
Yeah, we'll check it out and maybe do a review of it. But I'm sure it's awesome. It's called The Killer Channel.
Yep. So let's talk about some horror community news. I know that I just read that Pooh, the Winnie the Pooh horror movie's actually getting a fucking theatrical release in February.
Yes, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is the official title of it. And February 15th, 2023. Quit choking on your fucking beer.
I'm dying here.
God damn it, we're trying to give news out.
This is serious, you bastard.
Anyway, February 15th, 2023, for one night only...
it's one night. See, I didn't get to read.
It's one night only, unless they change it. It always can change, but Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey will be in theaters February 15th, 2023 for one night only. And yeah, that's it's probably going to be select theaters, kind of like Terrifier 2 was. So you probably, if you're interested in watching this, you'll probably have to hunt it down.
We'll probably have to go check out that theater, see if they've got that showing.
Yeah, the one that we went and saw, Terrifier 2, we also saw The Three from Hell, which was also a limited release. So it seems like they kind of specialize in these limited releases. So
it'd be cool. otherwise, it's probably going to be a streaming night, which I don't really like seeing horror movies like that. It kind of doesn't give you the atmosphere that you like.
Yeah, I mean, it does save a little bit on the wallet, but again, you always want kind of like that. If you're like us, you're like you want that theater experience.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some other news. R.L. Stine, the creator of the Goosebumps series, the books, responsible for the television series when we were growing up. Well, he took to Twitter the other day to announce that he has a new film that he's going to be involved with coming out called Zombie Town. And, well, he has announced the 2 stars that's going to be starring in this film, and it's pretty freaking dope, man. It's going to be Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Jesus Christ, those two biggest jackasses.
Yeah, they're jackasses that has played in wonderful fucking films. Of course, Dan Aykroyd, you'll know him from the Ghostbusters.
Well, not Dan Aykroyd. I don't think Dan Aykroyd is really.
And Chevy Chase from the National Lampoon's movie, who is notorious for being hard to work with, but funny as all fuck.
Yeah, that's Zombie Town?
It's called Zombie Town, and I'm sure we'll hear some future news on that, like release date and how the production is going on and everything like that.
Well, hopefully it's good and funny and
with R.L. Stine, this is definitely going to be a lighthearted kind of for the whole family type of deal. So, yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, which is awesome. Also in the news, Shudder announced that over the weekend they dropped VHS 99.
God damn, how many movies is that, man?
That is the 5th movie. The first movie goes all the way back to like 2013, 2014. It's VHS, VHS 2, VHS Viral, VHS 94, and now VHS 99. Well, the news that they announced is VHS 99 has now become the most watched movie in Shudder's streaming service history.
What?
And it just dropped over the weekend. So, that's a historical thing, man.
Are they saying it's good, or like, is it?
Well, I guess you just have to watch it to find out, but it is the most watched film in their streaming service history.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well,
So,
I guess I'll have to, honestly, I'll have to watch the fucking other ones because I am. That's one franchise I'm not really up to date on.
I've only seen the first one. I've got the first one here on DVD somewhere. And it's basically the VHS, from what I remember, they are just horror anthologies, kind of found footage type of deals put together in these little short stories, and you always get like 3 or 4 little short stories.
I see it. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, and I remember really enjoying it. They had some really good stories to it, so I definitely have to check out the other ones. And maybe when we get a chance to watch these films, that'll be a future review for us.
Maybe we can rank the VHS film.
Yeah, we'll rank the whole series, man.
A little top 5.
All right, and what else is in the news? Well, the first image of the next Evil Dead movie has just resurfaced, and it is called Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, I saw the picture. It looked like it was taken from like either a house or a hotel.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. You know, somebody looking through a peephole at maybe a hotel or a motel or something like that. And,
it's called Evil Dead Rise?
It's called Evil Dead Rise. It's going to be in theaters April 21st, 2023. So, not that too far along.
Is this a sequel to the remake, or is this going to be a sequel to the a series, or do
well,
we know
funny
yet?
you should ask, because I did read an interview with Bruce Campbell. Mm-hmm. Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi will be producing this film. Okay. And Bruce Campbell stated that he's not going to play in it, just like the other Evil Dead movie that came out a couple years ago. But this is going to be brand new characters with a brand new story. So this will not be a continuation or a sequel of the last film. So brand new story, brand new characters.
Okay. Is it going to be based off of like the Necronomicon from like the 90s movie, or we're just like...
Well, I'm sure it is. You really can't do an Evil Dead without incorporating the Book of the Dead.
No, I didn't know if they were going to base it off the 90s movie, if they're not going to base it off of the remake.
Brand new characters, brand new story. You take that for what it's worth. I mean, I'm sure as the days go along...
Well, Mary fucking Poppins, I don't like your spoonful of sugar, and it's not making the medicine go down good for me.
Well, you know, as they go along, I'm sure we'll get some more news on it.
Yeah, I think I read like the synopsis is like it's two sisters, and then things start going wrong.
Yeah, they have like a little description of what the movie is going to be, but of course you got to take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of times you read it and you're thinking one thing and it's totally something else. But anyway, I guess we'll go on to what I think was the biggest announcement this week.
I've been festering over this one. I know what you're going to talk about.
That's right. Friday the 13th is coming to Peacock.
The cock!
And it's been announced that it's going to be a prequel series. It's Victor Miller is going to be an executive producer, who is the original writer of the original Friday the 13th.
I did not know that.
And A24, the studio, is going to be involved in this I guess in a producing way.
They seem to be behind a lot of good shit.
Yeah, and it's going to be written by Brian Fuller, who wrote the Hannibal series.
Shit.
Yeah, and
that's actually a very underrated series.
Yeah, I actually watched the Hannibal series, and I actually really enjoyed it. But I honestly, this is, like I said, this is Victor Miller. He's the one that wrote the original Friday the 13th. So them going with a prequel makes total sense to me, since he is not, he was the one that wrote the original for the Mrs. Voorhees. He's not really the Jason guy.
Yeah.
So...
Which makes sense.
And it makes sense. And I personally, I think this is a smart move. I think that if they put this in theaters as a movie, it would fail on its fucking ass. I think this is great that they're putting it on Peacock as a series, because people are going to expect Jason, and they're going to probably get disappointed.
Oh, the comments are already terrible right now.
Well, I mean... I don't understand, but I mean, it's a prequel. By the way, it's going to be called Crystal Lake. It's not going to be called Friday the 13th. Yeah. It's going to be called Crystal Lake, and it's already announced that it's a prequel. So,
Well, let me play devil's advocate from my standpoint.
Go ahead.
So, I think that, this whole lawsuit situation, I don't know how many people that's listening to this actually know about the lawsuit that was going on for the longest time that put the franchise on hold. And they've settled it, right? Since then?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah.
And us, the horror movie community, was ready for a new Friday the 13th movie. Like, people want to see Jason. and you get a series about his mom, pretty much. I mean, it's not really going to have Jason involved in it. Not that much. Possibly. We don't know yet. But everybody wants, Jason.
It might have Jason in it, but it's not going to be the Jason that you think of.
Right, exactly. But
it's a prequel.
But everybody wants Jason. Everybody wants a Friday the 13th. Nobody really wants a prequel series. And I think that's why people are upset. And I can understand that. Because, I mean, it's like, me personally as a Halloween fan, when they brought back Halloween in 2018, if it would have been like a prequel to it, I probably would have been a little bit like upset a little bit because, I wanted Michael. And I think that's what a lot of hardcore Friday the 13th fans were like hoping after this lawsuit was done, is to get a new Friday the 13th movie and, motherfuckers getting their nuggets punched off and sleeping bag kills and, bow and arrows to the fucking head. And instead we're getting, Crystal Lake.
Well, I guess from my perspective is I don't know how that lawsuit worked. I don't know if Victor Miller just, pertained the rights to, the first film and the original story and the, Sean Cunningham and the rest of them, got Jason. So it might be one of those things where Victor Miller, after the lawsuit was settled, Victor Miller was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and go on with my shit. And he might not want to do anything with Jason. And the other side might have the Jason in the palm of their hand. So the way I look at it, if Victor Miller is making moves, then they need to get off their fucking ass and make some moves.
Right, I agree with you. Well, I think my problem is I don't really see how much they could do with the story. I mean, she wasn't a killer. You know what I mean? Jason wasn't, he was fucked up possibly. I mean, I guess they could show maybe him fucked up as a kid. I don't know. Maybe he did do some fucked up things, and that's the twist to it. That maybe he really did deserve to die. Well, to me, there's not really too much of a story to be told. To me.
Well, I'm gonna save my, judgment for this until after I see it. That's always been my forte. But I have absolutely zero problem with this, honestly. Like I said, if this was a movie, then I would be like, oh, god damn, I don't think this is going to go well because this is going to be like Halloween 3 all over again. But it's a prequel on Peacock. It's a series. I'm sure, like you said, people are hating it already without even reading about what it's going to be about or whatever. They're shitting all over it. And that's what some people in the horror community do anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm going to save my judgment on it until after it comes out. I'm going to see what it's about. Yeah. Because there's been many shows where I'm like, I don't think I will like this quite as much as other people. And then I start watching it and I'm like, well, I was fucking wrong.
Right. I mean, I'm going to have an open mind. I'm definitely going to watch it. And
yeah,
hope
I
for
mean,
the best.
And the fact that Victor Miller, the original writer, is behind it gives me hope. And Brian Fuller, the writer of the Hannibal series, which was a brilliant series.
Yeah, that's kind of why I have a huge curiosity in it, because you've got two really talented people behind it.
And also the reason why I have no problem with this is because I got, I pretty much got 10 movies of Jason doing his thing, and I love Jason. I like Jason more than you like Jason.
Facts.
So, but I've always, it got to a point where they could not go back to Mrs. Voorhees because they would piss off the fans. I think putting this in a series format is a way to accommodate those fans that are curious about Mrs. Voorhees and want to kind of see her do more than what she did just in that first movie. And, you know, telling the Jason fans, hey, you know, calm down. He might be coming, or the other guys might be doing something with him. You know, this is what we're doing. You're either, you know, you can either join us on the journey or, you know, bitch and moan about it.
I think they're going to pick bitching and moaning.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. You know, that's perfectly fine. You know, they did that for the last 3 fucking Halloween films.
True.
You know, I mean, we're talking about a fan base here. Now, I love my horror community, most of them, but everybody knows once you get online and you start reading comments, the worst of the worst kind of make it through the bunch.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about
assholes get to shine.
We're talking about the same group of people that took the biggest shit on Halloween Kills, even though Michael Myers killed and was vicious and it was the biggest body count in a Halloween franchise history. You know what I mean? And they bitched and moaned and everything. And then in the next movie, we hardly ever got Michael Myers. I think that was their way of saying, okay, well, we gave you what you wanted. You bitched about it. Now we took it away from you. How do you like that? And suck my balls. And I think everybody that complained about it got exactly what they deserved. Anybody that watched Halloween Ends and complained about Halloween Kills before, ha ha, fuck you.
I don't disagree with you, actually. If anything, you know, people complain, oh, I really didn't have a story. I really couldn't get into it. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. It's killing. Blah, blah. All it was killing. And then they flip it and you get story, original story, and good storytelling. And hey, well, the body count was there. We didn't get to see Michael. You couldn't make these bitches happy with a 12-inch dick.
You know, and, you know, I like to say that everybody has their opinion, but, I mean, it's like, goddamn, one person goes on a tirade and says their opinion about something, and it's like 40 million other motherfuckers jump on there without, like, having their own thoughts. You know, I can't, like...
Yeah, I hate to tell you people, but that crowd that you hated in Part 2, Evil Dies Tonight, you're them.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were going for, that mob mentality. And you guys, you know, anyway...
Hook, line, sinker.
Yeah, anyway, that's all I have for some horror news.
I think that was pretty good, little touch-up, and, you know, we'll dive into it next week, as maybe, or later, if it depends on if we get some, like, late-breaking, you know, news. And
noteworthy.
But, until then, I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder.
I said Ripper.
Yeah, toodaloo, Ripper.
Yeah. You're all doomed.